Alright, hey everyone, Christian here from CK Wraps. We're going to wrap the trunk of this Mercedes S550 in Vivid Luster Red Chrome. We're going to do this in one piece. I've shown you how to do this in two pieces with a harder angle dropping down. This card doesn't really have much of a hard edge right here, so it's fairly round. We could do it in two pieces. We're going to try it in one. This might take more than one attempt. It's going to be very difficult because the chrome doesn't want to bend in such a way. So I've already prepared the surface with isopropyl alcohol. I've already also prepared it with tack reducer, Vvivid tack reducer, and I'm going to blow away all the contaminants with a compressor. I've masked off the edges, and the reason why I've masked off the edges, as some of you are asking, is because I want to make sure that when I cut, I'm not cutting first of all on the paint. Second of all, if I slip, I don't slip onto the part that I've already wrapped. And third of all, we're going to make sure that the vinyl slides off of the tape as opposed to it's trying to slide off of the film or the paint of the opposite edge. The vinyl will actually slide off of the painter's tape or masking tape much easier than it will with a higher energy surface. This is kind of soft, so it doesn't stick to the masking tape at all. I use painter's tape, kind of any painter's tape is fine, or masking tape. Usually it just comes down to how easy it is to remove afterwards. This is 3M blue painter's tape. It's really overly priced, but whatever. I just kind of buy whatever when I go into the store. I don't use anything in particular. Anyways, we're going to start by wrapping this trunk. So in another video that I'm uploading right now, I've already cut the panel. I've shown you how to cut the panel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to wrap this trunk in one piece for this top section. This bottom section will be done in a separate piece. This bottom section has to be prepared first. But yeah, we're going to be doing that in two pieces for the most part because this is such a recess here that we don't need to do this in two pieces. Plus, there is a chrome piece of trim that runs right along here, which I've removed so that we can do this in two sections without any seam showing. So I'm going to grab the film. I'm going to actually blow away all the contaminants right now, and then I'm going to grab the film. So when the last wrap shop went to remove the emblem, they broke the emblem first of all, so it's completely broken. They've also scratched the trunk a little bit there. So we're going to be thorough when we're blowing away all the debris. Now we're going to grab the piece of film. So the trunk itself is not magnetic, but the panels on the other side are. So the panels on the opposite edge there are magnetic. That's where we're going to have to stick the vinyl. We're going to put the vinyl in a good place, generally where we need it. Now, if anything, we want to make sure we have more excess on the bottom than we do on the top. The top's going to be very easy. It's very flat. The bottom will be a little bit more challenging with its curvature, and we're going to make sure that we have enough film to pull. So what I want to explain here is, before I start removing the backing paper, is that look when I fold this down, look how much excess film. See how this bunches up here? So if I go here, we have bunching up material over here. And if I go here, then we have all this excess material over here. So what I generally need to do is conform this film around the trunk. Same way I do fenders and things like that, we're trying to glass this around the trunk. We want to pre-conform this film so that we have wrinkles, our fingers are running across, that way we can pull down and get them out very easily. If I come down right now and I remove the backing paper, all our fingers are going to be running vertically, which is horrible. We're going to have to try and stretch it out this way, try and stretch it out this way. Never just lay this top surface here without taking the bottom into consideration. Trunks are probably one of the more complex panels on a vehicle, some even more complex in doing them in one piece than, let's say, a bumper even. So we're going to make sure that we're doing this. I always find with chrome that I have to put a seam on the trunk It's just a lot of the way of how you can only stretch the chrome so much and without distorting it. So we always want it to look good, and sometimes the seam just looks better than having distorted. I mean, distorted chrome never looks good. So we're gonna make sure that we're gonna try this out. We're gonna see how we're gonna do it. Like I said, I might not be able to do it right the first time, but we'll give it another shot. All right. Just want to make sure that we got a good angle here on the camera. Yeah, I think it's fine there. Okay. So I have a heat gun ready, pretty much everything ready to go. We've got to roll the backing paper off. I've used tack reducer only on the horizontal surface, not on the vertical. We needed to grab more down here than up here. But I've used tack reducer on the horizontal surface because of the vinyl just wanting to press down on it right now. It's going to want to grab almost right away, especially with the temperature. It's not too hot today, but it's still around 80. So we can hold this up and keep it flat so that we're rolling the backing paper off nice and evenly. It's already sticking there. All right, now for the fun part. I've got to glass this and conform this around the best that I can. There's a lot of film to stretch here for one person. Having two people to do this, huge asset. I don't have anyone here with me to do this today, so it's just be me. So we're gonna have to pull. We might have to do this a few times, but we need to get rid of the slack that's in here and draw everything out. So I'm gonna stick a magnet down on the opposite panel over here, making sure that it's not gonna slide off. I will add heat, I will as I need it. So I'm pulling extremely hard here, okay? We run into issues when we're doing this. We end up running into issues up here, and we run into issues down here. So it's just working the film. This takes time. Because right now, what I've done is I'm trying to take the stretch from here, and I want everything to conform from here, so I'm pulling a lot of tension across the edge of the trunk. I wish I was showing you this in a film that wasn't chrome, because it would be a lot easier to demonstrate this in a little bit quicker. Okay. So, still, as you can see, if I push down, we have too many wrinkles, too many fingers running up and down. We can't really work with this just yet. So we need to keep doing this. I'm going to add a little bit of heat right now because it's just not warm enough in here to add a natural stretch to the film, just to the ambient air temperature. Like I said, doing this alone sucks. Just want to add some heat to the film so that we're softening it. might be doable. My concern is this area over here right now. This looks pretty reasonable. Okay. For this, what I want to do kind of just playing around right now and figuring out what I need to do. Reading the film is always important, okay? So we have a lot of slack right here right now, and this is not good. I need to bring more of this stretch along here. So again, I'm going to lift it kind of back to here, because as you can see, we're pretty good over here. I can work with that, like I said. Okay. This thing. So again, I'm just feeding large areas. All right, let's see what I can do with this wrinkle here. Okay, so I'm okay with this right now. I'm going to start laying some of it. And we'll get this side taken care of for the most part. Overlapping, make sure we're overlapping the strokes. Fix this up a little bit right here. There's the edge of the trunk right up top. This one there, that's good. Again, quick pulls always with the chrome. So basically the way I'm doing this, and the way I'm doing the trunk, is how you can do any trunk that's similar in style. For example, like the Genesis Coupe, it's very similar, so we take it, we stretch it around. The Genesis Coupe is actually a lot more difficult as far as doing the trunk, and I always seam it on the hard edge, but this one wasn't as bad, so I figured I could probably attempt this in one piece, so which is what I'm doing. So what we need to do here is add a bit of stretch and level this out. Before I go and do the other side, I want to make sure that this can actually be done. So I'm going to hold this out. You can see I'm pulling out. What I need to do here is spread the film out, and so I'm grabbing the film as I'm pulling down. Okay. some of this right here right now. So I want to spread out these wrinkles, pull pretty aggressively on the film. And yes, the fingers are running up and down, which is a nightmare to work with, but I'm confident that I can maybe work this out. It's at least worth a shot. I'm just doing this a little bit at a time. As I'm pulling, when I'm heating, I'm pulling also, and I can feel the film start to give. And at that point is kind of when I stop heating. Just trying to spread these wrinkles out as I work it down. Gotta get that one out of there. Probably. Thought I could get that one out, but I couldn't. There it goes. So you can see it takes a lot of patience. I'm reading what the film wants to do as I stretch it, as I pull it. The edge is right here, so we're very close. And it looks like the film has a lot of tension on it. It actually doesn't. I haven't stretched it very much. As you can see, I haven't stretched it very much. I'm looking to see how far down we need to go. It's hella hard, trust me, it's not easy. Okay, I'm gonna trim off some of this because I have too much excess and it's really making things a bit difficult right now. Having a little bit less film will help us to add a little bit more spread on the film when we're a little bit closer, as opposed to being too far away from it. So being closer to the edges is gonna help. So again, I have just a bit too much down here. I'm going to trim off some of this. And you can see now that I'm closer, I can spread these wrinkles out. I'm just trying to get this down and evened out around here. Okay, I'm going to wait till I pop the trunk to finish all this off over here. I can pull it and wrap it around the edges a lot easier. I'm going to work some more of this out over here. Again, generally doing the exact same thing. This is not really how you do a trunk. I would never be stretching the film like this if it were anything else. It's just that we have to do it this way because I was only able to conform it so much around this way. So I end up with a lot of fingers that run vertically, which makes it really difficult. Like I said, I would never really do this, a trunk in this fashion. This would have been had the fingers running all the way across it from end to end, and I would have just pulled down and everything would have been out. I don't know if I can get that one out. I'm going to see right now. Yep. Okay. I can actually stick all that to the opposite side here. You'll see sometimes I use my fingers as opposed to the squeegee. Just have a little bit more control with your fingers than the squeegee sometimes, so that's my reason for it. It's just feeling it out, guys. Okay. So obviously obviously you want the results in the end to be spectacular. So we just take our time. I'm going to leave that for a moment. I'm going to start glassing it out this way, or stretching it out again this way a little bit more. Okay, I'm just looking at it to see where we're at. I'm going to lay a little more of this. So again, I'm spreading out the wrinkles. I'm pulling pretty good. Okay. Trying to maintain consistency. Don't try not to rush it, try not to damage all the hard work you've done so far. We want to make sure we're taking our time because I've put in a lot of hard work already and I don't want to mess it up. All right. I'm trying to spread this out a bit. I want to draw my wrinkles, my fingers across. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, so I want to make sure we're always being consistent again in working the film. And add a bit of heat here because I need it. Oh. Hard work. I'm glassing it a bit and then ironing out these wrinkles. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is add in some heat around here and here and try and get some more fingers running this way. You start to see it slowly moving. Still a lot of slack right here. This is going to be a lot of work to iron this out. We're going to get it though. Once I get everything, all this part done, I'm going to go over all the edges post-heat because we do have a bunch of stretch. What I want to do is try to bring all this down in a larger piece as opposed to a small amount at a time. Always trying to take the stretch over the largest area possible. I'm always looking at the film to see if I have any blemishing. Because if I do, then there's no point in going on and I have to restart it. There isn't a single mark in this right now, so we're good. Again, we're going to try and obviously keep it that way. almost there, everyone. All right, we're almost there. You kind of see that I shake the film a little bit. It's not because I'm pulling that hard where I'm shaking, it's just because it kind of helps spread these wrinkles out a little bit easier. I don't know why, but when you're pulling on it, you kind of just feel it. After you start working with this stuff for a long time, you start to feel it out. And you'll see how when you do that and the way you do it will start to work for you. Just another technique. So there is some crawl back here. Pull back, crawl back, whatever you want to call it. It's because I've stretched the film a lot. Once I get the film wrapped around the other edge and put the trim piece back on, I'm going to leave a little excess with no tension on it. This will never crawl back. I'm also going to post heat, obviously, because post heat is going to be very important with the amount of stretch that we've put into this. Really, we haven't even stretched it that much, but this film is so thick that it wants to pull back a little bit more. Really, the amount of memory it has is very little, but on a smaller scale, when you have these little stretches here, it wants to pull back. So you can see I kind of just shake it a little bit. I don't know why it helps, it just does. So I can kind of tuck this under a bit and limit that from happening. Use the hard edge of the squeegee. Everything under here right now is all hidden. There's some crawl back over on that side too. We'll take care of that once we get some of this trimmed up, and then once we get the trunk lifted, we're going to start taking care of that. I just got to finish off this corner over here and some of this, and then we're going to start trimming off the film. Again, too much. Look at my blade. Did anyone see my blade? What the heck? Oh, there it is. All right. We're going to trim off some more of this excess here. Again, I have too much. Right here. And you'll see that I pull it back a little bit beyond where the wrinkles are. It helps in balancing out the stretch that we're adding to this film. got another 1.5 to 2 inches to come down. So if I actually pull and let this cool, it'll have almost no wrinkles in it when I let go of it. It's just gonna kind of harden. It'll harden to its shape. It'll harden to its new shape. Sorry. When I'm pulling, I'm only trying to pull just enough. I don't want to pull excess. I want to pull just enough to get the wrinkles out. Every time that I'm pulling, I'm pulling just enough. Now what that means is that we're trying not to overstretch it. I can pull it more, but then I just adding more stretch to the film, which in that case is when I want to pull back even more. So I always want to pull it just enough. Like even if this was gloss chrome, I would have been done half an hour ago. Whew, we're at 46 minutes, not too bad. All right, we gotta work out this area still. This bend on this edge here sucks really bad. Like it's hard. It would be a little challenging with regular film. Trying to work some of this down from the top here. Okay, so I'm going to lift the trunk so that I can do this a bit better. It'll be easier for me to pull without the rear quarter panel in my way, because right now it's kind of in my way. So I'm going to trim off some of this excess here. I don't at the edge. I'm going to trim off some excess So when I open the trunk, we're not ruining anything. This is why I've masked on the quarter panel side. I'm cutting on the quarter panel, but I'm cutting on the tape. I'm actually trying not even to cut on the tape. Okay. All right. A little bit more to finish off here. You gotta be extremely, this is an automatic trunk, you gotta be extremely careful to see what happens right now. I want to make sure the film is lifting off properly. Let's get these magnets out of the way. It lifts off really nicely. Now I can work down here and the other side, these corners, a lot better because before this was in my way. So, let's get those magnets out of the way. We'll start over on this side and I'll do the other side. Need this to be a little higher. Extremely challenging. The trunk wants to move down, which kind of sucks too. Right now I'm holding the trunk with my arm. We'll get it. It's like 1 millimeter at a time. I know it's a little bit boring right now. I wish I could show you guys what I'm doing. You'll see it better on the other side. But I've pretty much already done the other side. This side is giving me more issues than that side did because I didn't set myself up properly. Sorry, I'm not really talking right now. I'm just trying to focus. I'm trying really hard not to overstretch the film and get my fingers under the edges because really it's gonna count at this point. almost there. I have like an inch to go. Trying to roll some of this around so it doesn't want to crawl back. We are a centimeter away from getting this done right now on this side. Okay. Whew. Give it a bit of post heat. And get this flattened out around the opposite edge. Okay. Jeez. Let's get some of this down here. See how the crawl back stops? It hasn't really crawled back at all anymore. Once we get rid of the wrinkles, we can pretty much eliminate the crawl back from even being a thing. So by squeezing out all those wrinkles, I can eliminate all the crawl back. Pull back, whatever you want to call it. Damn, all right. Let's do this side. I'm pretty much already there on this side, so I just had to lift it to get it the rest of the way. This is kind of how I was doing it. I was just working it little by little. Got a little more heat. Small wrinkle here I gotta get out still. Okay. This was super difficult. I'm sure it looked very difficult. It was as difficult as it looked. We're at an hour, over an hour, all right. I basically want to get everything ironed out on the opposite edge so that we don't have any wrinkles before I do any cutting. To push some of this down still. Just giving it a bit of a post heat because we're almost at the point of cutting right now. Adding some heat will let me know if we're having any crawlback also. A little bit right here, little guy. Let's get that out of there. Right. Just doing the back side of the trunk. If I heat from this side, there's a lot less likely of a chance of burning the other side of the film, so we can do it from this side. Pull down around the corner ever so slightly. Should be good. We're going to trim off a lot of this excess. There's a nice little gap here that fits the blade just perfectly. Let's get that out of the way. That out of the way. I'm going to trim off some. And then post heat again. After I cut all that, I'm going to post heat again. What I need to do is finish off this. I'm just cutting around the corner, so leaving very little film. Feel it out. How this feels. Sure. That I'm in as far as I want to go. All right, back of the blade again on the back edge. Now you can make this line very straight. It's very easy. I'll tell you how to do that in 1 second. So. That cut on the back side should be very straight because what I did is when I heated, I ran my finger without moving my hand very consistently along the edge. So where I run my blade is going to be at the point where the vinyl makes contact with the surface of the trunk. So that line should be very straight on the back side. Again, I'm going to lift it up, post heat all my stuff, all my edges. I hate this plug. beautiful. I got a little mark from the tape. That's just the painter's tape right here. There's a little mark here if you notice that. That's just from taping up the vinyl and storing it. It does leave a little adhesive behind that a little glue gun we'll get rid of. And I'll clean this up before I show you guys anything. So as you progress in working with vinyl and cutting, you get very used to cutting. It becomes a natural skill where you can actually cut and score the film. So I didn't even actually cut through there, but if I can start tearing it along this line, like this, I've cut through it for the most part. There is some here. So it's only scored. I didn't even actually cut through it, other than probably where the masking tape was. I pushed a little bit harder, but I just scored through the vinyl, and then we can tear the vinyl down that line. And that's pretty standard with all films. You just get used to each film and how they work. All right, let me clean this up really quick, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. I really just want to get this tape off here. Comes off super easy. Any other marks I might put on it from the buffer. The buffer will sometimes might leave a little glue behind. Look at how the glue gun shines that up. We can use the glue gun on it, it's fairly safe. All right. Once I remove the tape, I'm going to post heat here a little bit more, push that down a little bit more, and that's it. Because right now, this is over top of the tape. When I remove the tape, I want to leave a little bit excess there, so I'm going to actually post heat this and push it down. Let's clean up the glue gun right now with some alcohol, so we don't want to leave it on there. Clean up the rest of my fingerprints, if there are any. Perfect. I'll cut a couple holes in here to allow the air to release, and then we'll put the emblem back on. We've ordered a new emblem for here because the last shop broke it. And that is that. So I'm going to show you right now what we have. We have a haze-free trunk done in one piece. It was a nightmare, but well worth it. That's just a little fly there. Huge, huge pain. And if you can see the underside, nice and clean and straight. Again there. And that's it. I'm going to do the bottom piece. I'm going to show you guys a video on how to do that. And we might get on to a couple of other things today, if possible. Let me just straighten this out. All right. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video of how to wrap this trunk in one piece in luster chrome or matte chrome or frozen chrome, whatever you want to call it. This particular product is luster chrome. It's a matte laminated chrome, huge pain to work with, as you saw there. We get the job done, we got the job done nicely. So like I said, a lot of the way I was doing it, the way I was stretching the film across the trunk is how we would do most trunks. Is stretching it and glassing it across this way, having your fingers run across, and then just pulling down. Super easy. Would have had this trunk done in like 15 minutes, but we're working with matte chrome, so it's super difficult. Anyways, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, please check it out. Lots of detailed pictures and videos there. Also the completed projects. For those of you subscribing, thanks for following, and for those of you who want to see more, please subscribe. Thanks.